On today's episode of the Fumblerooski podcast, Super Bowl 60 is all set and ready to go 2 weeks from now. This is the Fumblerooski podcast.
It may not have always showed it in the stat sheet, but you can see him making throws when he needs to make the throws.
Back-to-back games where he has 3 touchdowns. Someone's got to get that 6 or 7 spot.
He's an elite wide receiver as a rookie.
Truly a lose-lose scenario for both sides.
Welcome to the Fumblerooski podcast by Power D18 Radio and Secret Weapon Consulting. We got CJ, we got Tuck, we got myself, Chris. Happy Tuesday. Well, we're recording this on Monday, of course. And hopefully most of you that are listening are staying dry, staying warm with the blizzard that's come in. As you can tell, I'm very tired. I've been up since 3 a.m. shoveling. I'm ready to shoot myself. Gonna take a massive nap after this. But yeah, we got our Super Bowl set. We're also going to talk about some coaching hires that we mentioned from last week as well, or on Friday, that we didn't really have time to get into with Rob, but we'll get into it today. But Super Bowl's all set. Pats versus Seahawks, and already some news coming out from the Super Bowl as well. Seahawks being 4.5-point favorites. Patriots are wearing all white. So this is I'm gonna spend the next week just being like, fuck yeah, the Pats are in the Super Bowl before I get into nerves start creeping in a little bit. But I think the key for me this year has been keeping my expectations low. And they just pays off. It pays off. It really does. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Pats. This was a game. This was quite the game. In whatever sense you want to use, I guess. The Pats, their offense, the whole team really. I mean, there was a point where I even texted in the chat where Brendan Schooler, their gunner on special teams, was their best player. He was their best player. And I think like the Broncos' third punt of the game, I remember seeing Schooler top of the sideline and he's getting absolutely mugged by 2 Denver guys. I was like, yep, that had to happen because he was flying all over the place. Other than that, I mean, I thought that Stidham looked really good. After that first drive, that the Broncos had, I thought Stidham looked really good. And really the big difference in this game was Marvin Mims deep ball that set up the score for Denver. The 4th and 1 that they didn't convert, which we'll obviously talk about. The Stidham chest pass that was actually a fumble that led to a Drake May 4th and 1 score. And the Patriots chewing about 10 minutes of clock to start the second half, and then getting a field goal, and immediately the blizzard starts. That was your ball game, and evidently it was. And I mean, credit to CJ. I mean, I'm referring to what you texted in the chat pretty much right after Borregales hit the field goal. It was, well, it looks like this seems like the game where next touchdown is going to win. Lo and behold, we didn't even get a touchdown. Because nobody could move the ball once the snow came in. And Denver, the problem with them was that, obviously you got to rely somewhat on the run game, right? Especially when the weather gets really bad, and the weather got bad really fucking fast. Mm-hmm. But, the Patriots have been notoriously a very good run defense, and showing throughout the playoffs that they are a very good defense, period. So when you see the run game not work for Denver, especially with the weather intact, there's not much else you can do, which evidently, obviously the Patriots were going to say, hey, force Stidham to throw the football. They forced him to throw the football down the stretch, especially down the stretch. And it led to him throwing a balloon to Christian Gonzalez to essentially seal the game. Patriots, obviously, offense has its woes. They've been riding on the defense all year. I'll admit it. Like, Patriots have the 6th fewest points of a Super Bowl contending team ever. Like, obviously that's a problem, but when you face 3 top 5 defenses in a playoff run, sometimes you're going to have low scoring affairs. Tuck, you agree? I see you nodding your head. Like, so I think that when looking ahead to the Super Bowl, I feel a little bit more confident knowing, they're going to be in a lot, much better weather than it was in Denver and what it is on the East Coast this weekend and next weekend and last weekend. And really could say the weekend before that too. But yeah, obviously there's concerns there, but we can get neck deep into our Super Bowl preview once we get closer to it. Thoughts of the game, CJ, since you're the only other Pats fan here. Right.
Every game just seems like it's a tractor pull. And if you are one of the legions of mouth-breathing box score watchers, you might say, oh, this was a really ugly day. Neither quarterback played all that well. But the thing is, it's about making the plays when you need to. And in ugly games like this, it comes down to coaching. And Drake May, didn't turn the ball over. That was good. Had a lot of dropped passes that game. He had to throw the ball away a few times, but a lot of his incompletions were just flat out drops. He was getting the ball to where it should be, but the receivers couldn't hold on. But, such is the case, when you play in that weather. But it's his ability to run that has really been able to keep defenses honest, right? Especially at the end where he just called game with his legs. That was, as a Pats fan, it's like, wow, a mobile quarterback.
Did you see after the fact that he had called his own number?
Yeah.
They didn't even tell anybody, said, fuck it, I'm taking it myself.
Yeah. My only issue with Drake May is that the whole game, he was a bundle of nerves. This whole playoffs, one of the biggest things for Drake May is it's just nerves. His nerves, control him pretty much. And especially, that game, especially against Denver, honestly, I don't want to go after May as a fan, but, you could tell he was rattled. Denver was in his head. And honestly, I think that's because of the Houston game. That Houston game, I think, really rattled him. You could tell he's bracing to be hit after every throw. He's short arming. Because he knows that every time he puts his arm back to pass, he's gotten the ball poked out as he's getting dragged to the ground. So you could tell he's short arming. So maybe that's something they fix up. But also, to be fair, he did beat 3 top 5 defenses. The first time that has ever happened in a single postseason run, ever. And what I really find ironic is just the moving of the goalposts. How a lot of people were talking a lot of trash and saying, oh, the Chargers are going to win. You're not ready for playoff football. And then Justin Herbert, bless you, by the way. And then Justin Herbert loses predictably. And it's but Justin Herbert's a choker anyway. No. See right there to all these fans that say, I caught you. 2 things can't be true at once. You said they were going to win. Now there's an excuse. I don't do excuses. Second, you'd be lucky to score 10 on that defense, or you only won because CJ Stroud, or you have that vermin loser, Dan Orlovsky, saying, Houston wins if they have any other quarterback. Wow, could it be New England's defense was just making better plays on the ball? Because only one was tipped. Only one pick got tipped. The other is just the defense reading it. So that's a really weak excuse. Also, Drake May threw 3 touchdowns on that defense. Cry me a fucking river. And this game, you'll never win in Mile High. And by the way, Denver fans, I keep receipts. I remember y'all gassing up Stidham. I remember you joking, oh, it's a Stiddy party. That's what they were saying. Oh, you're not ready. And yet, here we are. And, you have that loser, that douche, Sean Payton, who's all, Mr. Bountygate, they're going to have 2 weeks to rest, my fans. In case Sean Booty let them know. That's just, like I said, I don't want to do this, but I'm done with the excuses. And of course, well, if we had Bo Nix, okay, and And if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. Like, what does that mean if you have Bo Nix? Yeah, Bo Nix would not do anything in that blizzard. That's a guarantee. And anybody who disagrees, like, honestly, do you really think Bo Nix was going to do anything in that blizzard? The answer is no. So, no. Tuck, yeah, I see you disagreeing. Yeah, whatever. Bo Nix is not going to do anything in that blizzard. Like,
I made this take when Tuck hadn't got into the studio yet, but what I said prior to us starting up the show was, if we're saying Drake May is like better than Tuck, would you say Drake May is better than Bo Nix?
Yeah.
Seeing how, everything unfolded in the second half, to CJ's point, I don't think Bo Nix is doing much either in that weather. I would, and the other point that I said was, obviously Sean Payton would have ended up being making more aggressive play calls with Bo Nix, but
he was still pretty aggressive though. Like, that's the thing, and that's why I brought up
He was aggressive.
Because he got greedy trying to go for it on 4th down and it failed. I mean, I don't care if it's 4th and inches. The whole thing about the analytics say go for it. That's a disease. That is like an actual disease to the game. Like, you just got to take the points.
Well, the thing with me, obviously I'm very much go for it, right? And like in the moment, I was very much like, Denver's got to go for it. Pat's got to make a stop here. Now, the idea of it wasn't a bad idea. Granted, I think the issue is that you have Jarrett Stidham. You're thinking, and I think Bill Cowher made a great point about it too after the game, post game. Points are going to be coming at a luxury. Like, you got to take the points at that, especially with Stidham. You don't know, obviously he looked solid, pretty solid in the first quarter, and then had the turnover in the second quarter and the fourth quarter. Like, you have to think that Stidham's going to be making some sort of mistake, and you can't risk any points to go away from it. And on top of that, the play call itself was just a disaster at that as well. Like, I feel like you can't put the ball in Stidham's hands on 4th down, but at the end of the day, are you going to put it in Stidham's hands or to have him make a play, or are you going to put in an RJ Harvey? Who's, not to disrespect RJ Harvey, he's had a solid rookie season, but I don't think he's gotten the credit to be like, give me the ball on 4th down. Anyways, Tuck, go to you on this.
All right.
Non-Pats fan in the room.
First things first, before I say my congratulations, I do think Bo Nix would do something in the first half. Not the second half, but the first half. I think he would do more than Jarrett Stidham. That's the issue. But second off, congratulations to the New England Patriots. You once again made it to the Super Bowl. This is your 12th Super Bowl appearance.
10th. Or, 12th total, but 10th in this millennium.
Got you. So congrats in that department. Drake May looked decent this game. He didn't turn the ball over, which was great for this game, considering how it turned out. I thought when Jarrett Stidham threw that first touchdown, I was like, oh no, this might be another Nick Foles. But he came back to earth relatively quickly. That I understand going for it on 4th and 1, but my issue is the type of play call, because I remember him trying to roll out right, trying to get it. And the issue with that is if you cut the field off in half already, you're making it easier for the defense, unless you have like a guaranteed first down play that's going to get it. And I don't think they have that. So
it's almost like they were trying to run a 2-point play at that point.
Yes, and I don't think they were close enough to get away with that. And besides, he threw it behind the yards to gain anyway. I'm like, why would you even? And so I just thought the play call itself was bad, not exactly like being aggressive in that area, especially since they can't like run the ball. So a pass play was normal, but again, that's not the play call I would call. But again, they still had the ball. Everything looked to be okay until that dreaded fumble. I don't know what that was. because for some reason, I don't know why Jared Stidham decided to throw the ball
Yeah.
like it was a basketball shovel pass.
I have a question for you, Tuck. Do you think that was a fumble?
No. Not because my issue is it's not going backwards.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't really matter. This is like what I've seen online. It doesn't really matter that it was going forwards. The problem was he didn't have control. He was not gripping the ball. The ball was loose in his hand. It was loose in his hand, and he kind of like pushed it forward. You can't, it's not a throw if you don't have control. You can't have the ball be loose and you just kind of push it forward with your arm. That's not, by definition, that is not a throw if you don't have control of it.
My
He
issue is,
lost control. It was basically a glorified batted drop.
but then he does it again later on in the game. Like he does it again in the game where he just throws it. What?
Yeah, but he doesn't
He had
have
a grip on
Chris
that ball,
Nellis
though.
or Jacob Gibbons or whoever it was on his back.
For some reason, I need people to explain to me why the hell Jared Stidham keeps doing that. I'm not saying it's a fumble or not. In my opinion, I don't think it is, but I understand why it was called that way. I don't think it's anything egregious. I just think it was a horrible play at the worst time to do it. So that play call was just a bit weird. But outside of that, I think he did the best he could with what he had. I mean, I didn't think Steady was going to lead them to the promised land, especially in the third quarter once the snow started to come down heavily. I was like, oh no. And when the Patriots got that field goal, I was like, this actually might be it because the way the snow just started to come down and you couldn't see anything. I was like, yeah, this might be it. In the fourth quarter, they were talking about the Broncos might get a better chance because the way the Patriots were driving down the field and the wind was at their back. So I was like, this is still a problem. Broncos kicker tried to make a kick, missed. Patriots kicker tried to make a kick, missed. So field goals are a no-go. And it's like, oh boy, this is either touchdown or bust. And it busts both ways. But the thing is, the one thing that saved the day, third down, and you absolutely need the first down to win the game. Drake May, the MVP caliber quarterback, calls his number and gets the first down, beats the defender, gets the first down, calls game. So all in all, I thought it was a pretty good game, even though the weather played its part in the it was more of a defensive game, but it was an overall good game in my eyes. And congratulations to the Patriots, and better luck next time, Denver. Hopefully, you guys will actually have a starting caliber quarterback in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, obviously, I understand Denver's frustration. Like, you lost your starting quarterback in prime, probably one of the best years to make it to the Super Bowl. And, you're probably considered a Super Bowl favorite, especially after knocking out Josh Allen in the divisional round. But you fall short.
Oh, by the way, Chris, did you see the Pro Bowl alternate that's going on? That just got named?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
So, Chris, Drake May made it to the Pro Bowl. He's obviously not going to be there. Did you see who was named as an alternate instead of Drake May?
No, I have not.
Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, my goodness.
Perfect timing.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to cut off what we were talking about, but I just saw this. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to lie. Somebody low-key like Shedeur, that's egregious. This is like Mac Jones or Mitch Trubisky or Tyler Huntley making it. This is some heinous nonsense.
That is something.
For what it's worth, this is literally why nobody takes the Pro Bowl seriously anymore. Alternates are ruining it.
Perfect timing, man. They never let me down.
For ratings, though, I won't lie. For ratings, that is an insane.
Oh yeah, no, the ratings are gonna be bumped up from 1 to 2 people. That's for sure.
Hold on, wait. My thing is, how will that, if he makes the Pro Bowl, how will that affect his contract or his situation?
I mean,
he's the first 5th round pick to make it since Puka Nacua.
That's gonna be a very social media is gonna be fucking out of control next year over that. I can already see it. It's gonna be. I can already see it. It's gonna be August, and we're gonna be talking about the quarterback controversy and whoever's the head coach of the Browns. It could be Condoleezza Rice for all I know. And
I saw that.
That's old. That's old.
That's very old.
But Condoleezza Rice is gonna have to figure out if it's gonna be Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders, and everyone's gonna be on social media saying Shadur made a Pro Bowl.
What about Deshaun Watson? He's still there.
Oh, I forgot about Deshaun.
Well, yeah, because he's rehabbing an Achilles injury, and look, it's not because he's a detestable human being, and I want him out of the league, but he should retire. He tore the exact same Achilles twice. Like, forget coming back from one, coming back from two, and it being the same one. I don't know.
He might be he might be the best pocket quarterback since who? Phillip Rivers, since he just returned.
Got some interesting Phillip Rivers news when we talk about head coaches later on. But
oh man, is there that situation's so interesting? But is there anything else you guys want to talk about before this game?
I guess the only thing I would say is at first I hated the play calling on the Pat side. I hated, or at least in the second half. But I also had to be like, you know what? Weather was bad. Do what you got to do.
No, you're right. You're right. The thing is, though, like I said, Denver's play calling was worse. Low-key, Sean Payton coached him out of that game.
Yeah.
They had one chance because I remember Jarrett Stidham tried to make one play. He made a nice throw to someone, but then he dropped it. I can't recall which one, but it was in the second half. It was like their only chance to get like positive play. And it was like, no. And it was Stidham's like good throw, but it was dropped. And it was like, damn.
Yeah. I think the two other things that I think we haven't brought up yet outside of, well, we brought up the Gonzo interception, but I think like play of the game was, or sequence of the game really was right before that interception. Denver makes a sub, and Patriots, they're obviously defense is allowed to make a sub, and Vrabel sends his guys out there at like the last possible moment that he could potentially sub. And Denver, after the referee got off the ball, only had like 4 seconds to snap it.
Yeah.
So that, now I'm getting the Adam Schefter notification about Shadur. Fuck.
Oh, also, I do want to mention before we move on, one of their kicker there, Will Lutz, one of his missed field goals was actually a block.
Yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about as well. The guy that blocked it, I'm blanking on his name right now.
Leonard
Taylor, called up from the practice squad on Saturday. Bang!
Yeah, because honestly, that kick's probably good if it's not blocked.
Yeah, 100%. Even with the conditions, and like, what was it? Like just barely 40, maybe?
Something to that effect. I was like mid-40s, like 46, but yeah.
Yeah. Still would have been tough. Would have been a really tough field goal for Lutz to make. But hey, you never know. It was a massive play that helped win the game for the Pats. All right. We're going to step aside for a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into the NFC Championship. The Seahawks winning 31-27. This is the Fumblerooski podcast.
It may not have always showed it in the stat sheet, but you can see him making throws when he needs to make the throws.
Back-to-back games where he has 3 touchdowns. Someone's got to get that 6 or 7 spot.
He's an elite wide receiver as a rookie.
Truly a lose-lose scenario for both sides.
Welcome back to the Fumblerooski podcast. Let's get into the NFC Championship. Seahawks outlasting the Rams 31-27.
Mm-hmm.
Totally polar opposite, of course, to or at least from what we saw in the AFC Championship game. Very nice nightcap to send us off to the Super Bowl. And, well, I think Rob from Patriots made the point made the initial point of, we got Jekyll and Hyde, 2 Jekyll and Hydes going here. Which quarterback are we going to get? Well, we got the good side of both quarterbacks. I mean, Matt Stafford, 374 yards, 3 touchdowns. Sam Darnold, 346 yards, 3 touchdowns. This was an all-around duel, but and it was back and forth, up until the Rams muffed the punt. I think that was obviously there was other moments like the Seahawks getting a stop on 4th and goal, but that was essentially the game right there, because now the Rams didn't have a chance to answer for the lead, and they're playing catch up the rest of the game. And the Seahawks were scoring on almost every single drive as well. And again, this was the game where, there's a high chance that both teams will score on every single drive, and just can't make that mistake. And of course, that's been the Rams' problem all year. They fired their special teams coordinator because special teams had been the biggest problem. And there you go. But, the big story really is Sam Darnold, of course. Biggest game of the year, shows up. Nothing else to it. Did his job and then some. And he is the first quarterback from the class of 2018, draft class of 2018, to make a Super Bowl. Made it before Josh Allen. Made it before Baker. Made it before Lamar. What a story. I mean, can't write it any better than that. I mean, and Jets fans are in hell. They're in hell.
This really is the anti-Jets fan Super Bowl, because, you got their big brother in New England, and you've got the quarterback you call the bust on the other team.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously the Jets have to be somewhat happy for Sam Darnold, because the Jets are the Jets at the end of the day. And Sam Darnold finally, and I think Sam Darnold is the perfect epitome of, right time, right place matters a lot in this league. And we see it every single day, especially with a guy like Sam Darnold. Thoughts from you guys? Tuck, we'll start with you this time.
First things first, congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks and Sam Darnold. You guys deserved it. You guys were the number 1 seed. You did your business against San Francisco, and then you outlasted the Rams. Sam Darnold has been facing a lot of demons this year. Can he win the big one? Can he actually win quality games? Can he perform when he's under pressure? And ever since that game against the Rams on Thursday Night Football, which is arguably game of the year, he's been showing us that he is capable of winning these type of games. So I'm happy for him. Congratulations to him. He's finally defeating those ghosts of the past. I do agree the Jets should be kicking themselves right now, because now the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, and their once franchise quarterback that they thought was a bum is now facing off against them, and now they're hoping for him to win. It must be awful being a Jets fan, picking in the top 10 every year. But congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. Though it got a little dicey, because in case y'all didn't know, Tariq Woolen got that taunting penalty.
Yeah.
And then the very next play was a touchdown. Very next play, Puka Nacua scored that touchdown. And then on the sideline, you guys know the safety for Seattle, the rookie, Nick.
Yeah, Emmanwori.
Yeah. He's a very good safety, but even he, as a rookie, was chewing out Tariq Woolen as a rookie for what he was doing. I was like, I'm not going to lie, Tariq Woolen, this game is close. If you guys lose this game somehow, pack your bags. You're gone. You can't stay here.
Look, and here's the other thing, too, is that the refs will let you get away with a little bit of taunting,
yes,
and some trash talk. But, when you're getting told to go to the sideline, to your own sideline, and instead you continue to berate and start mouthing off to the opposing team's head coach, you're just giving the referee ammo to throw the flag. Like, and I mean, CJ says it all the time. Don't leave the game up to the refs to decide it. Like,
Don't make it easy for him.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's not really ticky-tack at all. He totally deserved it. Like you said, he was so lucky that didn't cost him. And if I'm head coach Mike McDonald, I'm sitting him down and say, if you pull that in the Super Bowl, then you're facing 2 to 3 years in Dagestan, buddy. That was heinous.
Do you think he'll give him the Malcolm Butler treatment?
No.
No, I highly doubt it.
I don't know.
I don't think, and going based off of the rumors of the Malcolm Butler incident, which I will not name, this is definitely not to the extent of the Malcolm Butler situation. I don't think.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm just asking, but all karma gets you every time. He got that 15-yard penalty and then that touchdown immediately after. Whew, he's lucky Sam Darnold had the game that he had, and the Seahawks were able to pull this out because he might not be coming back. That could have been very bad. At the worst possible time to get a taunting penalty, he gets it and then gives up a touchdown to Puka. Yeah, to a division right. Yeah, that's a bad look. So I know Tuesday when they go over this in film, this is going to be quite the conversation. But still, they persevered. Kenneth Walker had a good game. Sam Darnold had a good game. Jackson Smith and Jigba keeps proving to you why he is the best receiver in the NFL. Just a good game. Even though the Rams offensively were good, defensively, come on now. They just didn't have it. I don't know what happened. I don't know where they went, but they didn't show up yet yesterday, and that's a shame. That's a shame. But hopefully next year they're able to bounce back and do better. And great year for Matthew Stafford, but it ends here due to your defense. So nothing more you can do about it.
And that's the other thing. It's not like you can blame Stafford. Like he had a fantastic game. He put him he put him in a situation to take the lead as well. And another situation where they're driving down the field and almost they were in position to potentially throw a Hail Mary. CJ?
Do you remember what I said about the Rams defense?
It's suspect.
Yeah, I think I was proven right. Where I said the front seven is really good. I said, but that back four is atrocious.
I think we've all been saying that.
Well, I said it first. But
I've been more saying the Rams defense isn't as good.
No,
as
but I mean, anyone could say that, but you got to go into why.
Yeah.
Regardless, that's what it was. Like whenever, and we've seen it before, whenever they can't get pressure on the quarterback, that back four gets taken advantage of in the worst possible way. Like we saw again and again when they couldn't get Darnold under pressure, Darnold just, he just picked him apart, and that really has just, like I said, like that. I'd like to think that proves my point.
Yeah.
And I was, as for Darnold, way to go for him to prove me wrong. I was concerned for him, and you remember that I said that for some reason the Rams just bring out the absolute worst in him, and no, he actually he clutched up and he made the throws he should. I mean, granted, that Rams defense couldn't seem to get past pylons, at least up front, but I will give him credit for just taking what was given him. And to be fair, it's not like his defense, which is allegedly really good, was going to help him with anything. But hey, I'll give him that. And lucky that Tariq Woolen didn't do anything, crazy after that. Like he's so lucky I didn't come out of that. But there is one more thing I'd like to touch on. Have you seen the bitching and moaning that Rams fans have been doing online?
No.
About Cooper Kupp catch for the first down, like near the end of the game.
That whole situation was a little. That was all a little weird.
I don't understand why they're so upset. He caught the ball, took 3 steps, and made a football move when he turned upfield. That's like and then he was down. Like, I mean, I guess you could throw out the survive the ground thing, but that doesn't, but surviving the ground doesn't matter when you take 3 steps and make a football move, which Cup did. I feel like this whole thing is just a non-issue, and I'm glad more people outside of the Los Angeles metro area aren't falling for it. So I'm just here to say that was, in fact, a catch.
Well, there was also the weird spot where it he catches it at the sticks, tries to get the first, and it looks like he kind of gets it. Kind of looks like he does. It's a close call. They gave him the first down, and McVay ends up using a timeout to give the guys upstairs a chance to look at it a little bit longer. But then it was so close that McVay was like, I can't use my last timeout on this if I do it on a toss up. And so he holds on to the timeout, which Adam said that he should have just thrown the challenge flag there anyways. This is my favorite. This is my favorite thing to do. Call out Adam's takes when he's not here.
Come on.
I think he was also saying that the Rams should have kicked the field goal there on that 4th and goal instead of going for it. Which, to my response, was like, okay, if they kick the field goal there, then they're still in the same exact spot that they're in right then and there with 7 seconds left from their own 35-yard line, 30-yard line, whatever it is. They still need to get like 20 freaking yards, a big chunk play to even be thinking about field goal range. And still at that, you're most likely looking at a Hail Mary.
Yeah, I mean, I get why he said it, though, that, because you make it, and if you can stop them, which, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Because Seattle definitely had some momentum coming off that 4th down stop. Because you have to remember, they were down by 4. You kick a field goal, that cuts it to 1, so you need a field goal to win instead of a touchdown.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think the only other thing I really wanted to touch on was Cooper Kupp in general. He's not the brightest year in the world. He took quite the demotion in terms of what wide receiver he was, because JSN, he overtook wide receiver 1 pretty handily. But when you need him most, he still shows up and makes plays. He still shows up and makes some big plays. Had a touchdown, 4 catches, and all 4 catches were big catches. That's all I really wanted to say about him. Anything else? Oh, looks like you want to say something, Tuck.
I feel so bad for Devontae Adams, though.
Oh, yeah.
Never makes it to a Super Bowl. Just like Stephon Diggs. This was his opportunity to finally make it to a Super Bowl. Diggs got his ticket to the Super Bowl. Devontae Adams couldn't do it due to his defense. Just unfortunate. What
is that? 5 NFC Championship appearances and all 5 are losses?
Yeah.
Yes. 14, 16, 20, 20 and 21. No, 20 in this year.
Yeah. Math. That's I just thought of another thing from the Pats game since you mentioned Diggs. I'm Diggs guy I'm happy for. I'm happy that he's finally getting a chance to play in the Super Bowl. Obviously, he's playing for the Pats. Another guy, Hunter Henry. I'm really happy he's playing. He's getting a chance to win a ring because, the Pats signed him in 21 and for Mac Jones' rookie year. And he had a great year that year. He had a really solid year, Hunter Henry. Mac Jones, of course, too. But after that, it was just going through the shit. And credit to him, he re-signed with the Pats, and almost immediately being rewarded for surviving through 3 to 4 years of bullshit. That's all I really wanted to say about that. Underrated, underappreciated New England Patriot, Hunter Henry. Who would have thought? All right. That is our recap of the NFL Championship weekend. We're going to step aside for a break. On the other side, we're going to get into the coaching hires from the last week. This is the Fumblerooski podcast.
It may not have always showed it in the stat sheet, but you can see him making throws when he needs to make the throws.
Back-to-back games where he has 3 touchdowns. Someone's got to get that 6 or 7 spot.
He's an elite wide receiver as a rookie.
Truly a lose-lose scenario for both sides.
All right, let's get into these head coach or coach hires in general, because we have an offense coordinator hire that just got made official. The Phillip Rivers thing I was referring to, Rivers was being interviewed for the Bills head coaching job, and our friend Robert Shelley informed us that he is now out of the Bills job, which that would have been quite the turn, to say the least. But
I wish it happened. It would have been so funny.
I kind of wish it happened too. Part of me kind of wished it happened. Did a part of you wish it happened too, Tuck?
I'm indifferent to what happens with the Bills right now. Did you see that press conference with the owner and the
we were talking about it last time. Hiring Phillip Rivers on top of it just would have been the icing on the cake. Just complete nonsense in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Is it though? Like,
yeah,
I know
it is.
Crazy. It sounds crazy, but then you think about the experiences that he has, and I believe he can tell the difference between a good OC and a bad one because of his years. So when I think about his type of like experience and my belief in how he'll assess like coaches, I could see him grabbing a couple of coaches that could work with Josh Allen or work for the Buffalo Bills and what they need. Maybe not defensively, but definitely offensively.
He's never been a coach before, though. Like that.
He's been not a pro coach, but he has been a coach before.
From like
currently
high school.
The head coach of his high school football team.
Yes.
His son's high school football team.
Yes, I know, but I'm just saying, man. I don't know. I don't like that.
I'm not saying he's the best option available. I'm just saying I wouldn't poo-poo it immediately, but I'd still say no at the end. But I wouldn't just outright deny it.
Well, he did remove himself from consideration, so even he knows it's probably not the greatest of ideas. Remember when Jeff Saturday was a head coach? I'm not even making a comparison. This is like a legitimate question. That was funny.
Yeah, of course. How can I forget about that?
That was just funny is all I'm saying. I remember that. Simpler times.
At least we know Phillip Rivers does have a strong pullout game.
Yeah, first time he's pulled out of anything. Oh, hey,
Mike McCarthy hired as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Tuck, you okay?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
And he really cracked himself up.
I mean, Tuck could be laughing about Mike McCarthy going.
I'm laughing at both. Oh my god!
Yeah,
Mike McCarthy as the head coach of the Steelers. Did they not learn what happened at the end of his Green Bay Packers run and at the Dallas Cowboys? And they have less talent than Mike McCarthy had at both of those stops. I think he's a decent head coach, but I don't think he's what you need in order to be competitive. Unless you're going to tell me this is strictly like rebuilding. Even then, I'm not sure Mike McCarthy is the person you want to rebuild with. I would have gone for somebody younger. Even I think Brian Flores would have been a good pick for them, considering he did coach under Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
And then he left to go to Minnesota. He could have just came back. I don't understand how they can just look over him and go for Mike McCarthy, who wasn't even coaching last year. It's strange, but hey, if they think Mike McCarthy is going to get them through this, even if he is from Pennsylvania, I'll be shocked. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, look, like that's the other thing is, Mike McCarthy is a guy that is from Pittsburgh. He is a Pittsburgh guy, and in a sense, like it's a good fit. Like it's never a bad thing to hire a hometown guy, right? But I think to Tuck's point, though, this isn't a guy that you really should be rebuilding with. And theoretically, too, the Steelers are very well known for hiring a younger head coach because, well, they've only had 3 head coaches since 1969. And on top of that, to go along with that, Mike McCarthy's 62. At best, you get 10 years out of him. Maybe 10 years. But in a sense where the Steelers need to sack up and admit that they need to rebuild, like this is the year to do it. You've lost them. You've lost me at this point. You've lost me. And now I'm now coming to the realization it's a Rooney like I heard a take about, I think part of my take said this, but this is the type of hire that you make when you're panicking, which you could make the argument too that because of that being a panic mode hire, leads you to believe that the Mike Tomlin thing wasn't a very mutual parting of ways. It was Mike Tomlin actually resigning. And nothing more to like, and the Steelers front office was not prepared for it. You agree with that, CJ? I know
Yeah.
you were very much when Tomlin initially resigned, believed that it was just a smokescreen and that the Steelers themselves told him to kick rocks.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong there. Like, I mean, damn.
Now, I'm also just like,
But it could be. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I'm also taking this from something else. Not that, like, part of my take is a place where they make takes, of course, as do we. They're kind of just like spitballing. So,
well,
it could very much be a real hypothetical, but
yeah,
we're
no,
not
it
taking
could,
it for granted.
But I just want to look at the McCarthy hire itself. Do you
Yeah.
remember how I described it off camera? I called it a sickeningly safe hire. That's what it is. The Seattle Seahawks. Why did I say that? What the hell? Wow. Oh my God. Ugh.
Crazy.
Sorry. Anyway, I don't know, because I was thinking about the Super Bowl. My bad. That's why I was thinking about it. I was thinking about the Super Bowl when I said that. The Pittsburgh Steelers have an addiction to mediocrity. That's just what it is. This was a move made by a very scared team. That's the one word I have to describe the Steelers. They're scared. They're going into the future kicking and screaming. Like I don't know, they're very big on mediocrity over there. That's what this was. You've literally just hired the offensive-minded version of Mike Tomlin. And it's like what's the end game here? What are you going to do? Are you just going to hope and pray Rodgers comes back? You're going to hope that Cam Hayward doesn't retire or go somewhere else? You're going to hope that magically TJ Watt returns to form? You're going to hope that all the free agents that came here and the guys you traded for, they're on one-year deals that agreed to come here for Mike Tomlin are going to stay? Like I said, it is a sickeningly safe hire. That is a team that plays it safe. And you remember what I said when we found out, Tomlin was moving on, and I said that I did not trust Art Rooney II to find a new head coach, and you all said, "Oh, give him some credit." This is why I didn't. This is why I said that. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though they've won a Super Bowl more recently than the team I'm about to mention, granted, they are quickly becoming the AFC equivalent of the Dallas Cowboys. A team that is just that just lives and thrives in mediocrity and lives in the past.
The hire that's, and I made this point too, Mike McCarthy, like, with all things considered, Mike McCarthy is still a relatively good coach. He had 3 straight 12-win seasons with the Cowboys, but at the end of the day, like, it still isn't the right hire. You would have been better off taking the time to hire Brian Flores, a guy that has actually been through a rebuild, and is a outstanding coach. That was wrongfully fired, by the way. And I also made the point too, like when McCarthy was the head coach, they also had a bottom 10 offense, analytically speaking. So really, if you're the Steelers, this is almost the same as just promoting Arthur Smith from OC to HC.
Yeah, pretty
I-
much.
That thought is not my own either. That was from a tweet. Let's keep this in the AFC North. Jesse Minter, new head coach for the Baltimore Ravens. Tuck, how are we feeling about this?
Oh, he's
Yeah,
a
I'm
happy
feeling good. I'm feeling good. I was happy when I heard the news that we finally got a head coach, and I'm happy that we have a new DB coach. The one out of Notre Dame, the one that actually taught Kyle Hamilton how to play DB. I'm happy about this. I want to see what he's going to do for us in the back end. I think Jesse Minter is going to be good for us in the front end. I'm good, and based upon how every single LA Chargers player talks about him when he left, I think we're getting a very good coach because he had a bond with them back in LA. And I think they're very appreciative of the time that they had with him, especially the way Derwin James talked about him. I'm happy. I think he's going to be productive for us. It's about time we had a specialist as a head coach instead of just like a manager type in John Harbaugh. I like Jesse Minter, and I can't wait to see what he does for us on the defensive side of the ball. Because last year, dear Lord, we needed it. We couldn't get a pass rush, and our defense looked abysmal at times. Sick and tired of it. Let's get this corrected. Let's play better. I'm happy as a Ravens fan I didn't get Mike McCarthy. I'm happy we got Jesse Minter, and we were desirable as a head coaching spot. So let's get this on. Let's get this started.
I mean, you can't go wrong when you get the defensive coordinator of a top 5 defense in the league. You can't go wrong with it.
No, I hope not.
I mean, you can, but it's a good hire nonetheless.
I was about to say you could go wrong if you're the Jets and Robert Saleh, who
Yeah.
I hope does better in Tennessee because I think his
More of a
spot-
Jets thing, though.
Yeah, hopefully the Titans do better with him because I think their defense will get a lot better.
Yeah.
But
CJ, any
I'm
thoughts
happy.
on Jesse Minter?
I don't like it. I think it's a terrible hire. No, I just said that to mess with Tuck. I'm sorry.
You should
I
have
was
just
hoping he would
should've
react
kept going.
angrier,
Hit
but
him a little
oh
bit.
well. No, I really do like this hire. I sincerely do. Like you said, Chargers have a top 5 defense in the league, so you grab Jesse Minter, who I think will do wonders for their coverage and pass rush. I want to see who he's going to grab as OC, though. That's going to be.
I
something.
had Jesse.
Cliff.
Yeah. I did hear rumors that it could be Cliff Kingsbury, and hey, pair him up with Lamar, and that's going to be dangerous. But overall, yeah, between that rivalry of the Ravens and the Steelers, I definitely think the Ravens now definitely the better head coach and a higher ceiling to boot.
Yeah. They're also, as of 30 minutes ago, they're keying in on Scotty Montgomery, the Lions wide receiver coach.
Okay, I like that too.
I like
I'll
that.
take it.
But we'll see how that plays. Speaking of offensive coordinators and the Chargers, Mike McDaniel confirmed new offensive coordinator for the Chargers. Obviously, we mentioned it on Friday that he was going to be the new OC, but it hadn't been confirmed. There was a weird little thing going on where Mike McDaniel was kind of still keeping his ear out for, I think he was keeping an eye out for the Bills job. I think that was the main report, but I think this is a good move. And Chargers have to be happy about this. And CJ, I think, said it best on Friday too. Once you look at that, you got your quarterback, a guy that can push the ball down the field. A quarterback that really, really needs to be pushing the ball down the field in Justin Herbert.
I think it's a great move for him. I think it's a great move for Mike McDaniel to get back to just coaching the offensive side of the ball and then reestablishing himself as the brilliant offensive mind that he is. So he'll eventually get another head coaching opportunity. I think it's a good thing for Justin Herbert to finally get a head coach an OC that actually understands what he needs, not the way Greg Roman was running the offense, dear God. And hopefully he does have better offensive line protecting him with Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater coming back. Hopefully they're healthy, knock on wood. But all in all, I think this is going to be good for him, good for the offense, and just good for the LA Chargers as a whole. I thought he was holding on for the Bills job, but then he heard that press conference. It's like, dear God, get me away from here. So I think this is the perfect opportunity for Mike McDaniel, outside of Baltimore, of course. But I'm not holding any grudges. No, never.
Never.
No, never. Would never do that.
I definitely think McDaniel, like I've said before, is he's much better suited to be offensive coordinator than he is a head coach. And I think he'll do wonders with Justin Herbert. Maybe they'll even win a playoff game. That's not guaranteed.
Maybe.
But
Keyword is
you never
maybe.
know.
Robert Saleh, Tuck mentioned it. Robert Saleh named head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Good move. I mean, if you're the Titans and you're looking at Mike Vrabel and the Patriots right now, and here's a stat for you. Patriots have more wins than the Titans do since Mike Vrabel got fired. And that includes a year that Mike Vrabel was not a head coach of any football team, including the Patriots. AKA a year where the Patriots won 3 games.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great hire. I mean, I'm glad that Saleh is getting a second chance at being a head coach, and I mean, Titans are well in the gutter, but this is a good start to turn things around.
Yeah. I just hope I like Robert Saleh. I just hope he doesn't get jetsed again,
Yeah.
Because the Titans are a team. I mean, you saw what they did to Vrabel. And look, I'm not even saying Vrabel, I didn't think he adjusted all that well to losing his coordinators that fast. But, obviously I think he's older and wiser, but still I think he got screwed. So, hey, maybe the Titans have learned their lesson. And, yeah, I definitely think he could work with Cam Ward too. So I think they've got a promising foundation there.
Tuck?
I think this is a new opportunity. I think the Jets are a dumpster fire, to be nice about it. I think Tennessee will treat this differently than they did in the past. I think Robert Saleh is appreciative of the fact that he has a franchise quarterback in Cam Ward instead of starting off with Zach Wilson. I think he's more appreciative of that. And I think he'll build up that defense even more so. I think he'll draft appropriately, and I think they'll be competitive next year. I'm not sure if they'll make the playoffs, but they'll definitely be more competitive than they were this year for obvious reasons.
Yeah, 100%. Be interesting to talk with Blaine Bishop about that one. Whenever the next time we get him on the pod. All right. That is all the scheduled content that we have for you today. Relatively shorter episode compared to the last 10 that we've had. Anything else to touch on before we close it out?
Other than that, life is unfair that another Patriots team has made it to the Super Bowl, yet my Ravens are miring in obscurity. Yeah. Other than that, no.
Cope.
I'm fine. I'm happy for you guys. I can't stand the Patriots, but I'm happy for you guys.
Oh, I'll take what I can get. Thank you. That means a lot coming from you. It really does. You're my favorite Ravens fan still. And I'm not even just saying that. You are.
Thank you.
And I do know several, so.
Tuck, I just want you to know, I stand up for Lamar when necessary.
I literally do as well. Like I have defended him many and many.
I don't understand how horrible it is to be a Lamar Jackson fan and a Ravens fan. Like even when Drake May does well, they're like he has the same amount of victories as Lamar. Like what does Lamar have to do with this?
A lot of people don't like Lamar, man. And low key, even as a Pats fan, like I don't get it. Lamar genuinely seems like a chill guy. I mean, if the rumors about the whole practices are true, then I kind of get it. But even still, like the way people unfairly pile on him for like missing a pass when Josh Allen gets people coming to his defense after turning the ball over 4 times, it's weird,
It's very weird what my quarterback has to go through. But when he finally wins a championship, it'll probably be one of the more happier days in my life because the Ravens now have a Super Bowl ring, another Super Bowl ring. But till then, pain. But nothing else to talk about.
Word. Good. I need to go take a nap. That'll do it for us for this Tuesday episode of the Fumblerooski podcast. Thank you for tuning in, of course, and we'll have a new episode coming out on Friday at 8 a.m. where we'll get neck deep into our Super Bowl coverage. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we also have all our episodes available on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, and so much more. And be sure to follow our Instagram, Fumblerooski_podcast, to keep up with the pod and the latest coverage on the NFL. Otherwise, we will see you on Friday. Over and out.